Hey guys, so we're together, kind of, sort of, we're filming together. I'm on a break. He's about to go to work. So we need to talk about the amazing race though, because this was a very interesting episode since this is them coming back, 19 months later?
19 months have gone by since February 28th, 2020.
Yep.
They returned September 2021, which is just crazy to think about.
Right? Like, it's basically like, it's not even necessarily like a pause or like a layover or whatever. It's like almost like completely starting over because everyone is starting fresh. Like, you're fully rested. You can go practice stuff. Most people were home sitting around. You could be studying, like basically watching the show. So it's like a do-over, but not really. But not everybody comes back. So
yeah. Unfortunately, I kind of spoiled myself in this of knowing some teams weren't going to come back, and I was a little nervous.
At which one?
At which ones? I will say the only one I'm truly, or I guess there's two. The teams that can't come back, Anthony and Spencer, who are probably one of the top competitors so far. Caro and Ray, who in my opinion, I'm like, I don't know. Some people were really like upset about that. I think because they like them from Love Island.
Yeah. Well, I didn't look into it at all, but I didn't like their dynamic on the show.
No.
On this show. And it's, it seemed like they went from one show to another show, and maybe are they together? I feel like if they are, oh good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. Connie and Sam, who not that I didn't like them, they just kind of were like another team. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
no disrespect to them. It was just like they weren't at the top. They were just kind of like throughout the middle.
And we'd only got to see them for a minute, so we really had no idea.
Yeah, they did get second on the second leg, which was, I think, the only time they were up in like the top. But like that, and then Tyler and Isaiah are the other one that I'm really upset about.
I was really sad about that too. Do you know why? I didn't look into it. Do you know why?
I don't know why any of them
I know
haven't returned.
Something on Instagram about one of them had a baby. I want to say it was Sam and Connie or whatever. Like, someone had a new baby. So that's like a very good reason, obviously, whatever. And the only thing I could maybe think of with other people is either like, okay, they broke up and they don't want to do the show together anymore. They couldn't agree to make it work, or a job, like job wise, like their job would not give them this time off now that we're back from the pandemic and stuff. Not back from it, but you know what I mean? Back from maybe when they had to leave. And then they were like given okay to go on the show before things happened. And then now that everywhere is so short staffed, them asking for leave again wasn't going to happen. And if you have a very like lucrative career that you can't, it's not just a job that you can take time off from. Maybe that's why they like couldn't come back. I don't know. Oh,
okay. I'm seeing
you saw
the reasons. So Tyler and Isaiah, Taylor, sorry, said that his big brother had passed away from COVID 2 days after they arrived for the restart. So they were originally planning on going back.
Yeah.
So that happened. And then Connie got pregnant.
COVID baby.
They said that the baby wasn't born until December. So after they started. Anthony and Spencer, they said just a scheduling thing of their
jobs.
And then Caro and Ray had broken up.
I knew it.
July of 2020. So a while back. So I think people were kind of expecting them not to show.
Okay. See, I don't watch Love Island like that, so I didn't even know them. So I wouldn't have
So really only Anthony and Spencer and Caro and Ray wouldn't have returned because Connie and Sam just had a baby, and then Taylor and Isaiah had to deal with like a really immediate like death in the family. So All valid reasons, either, breakup, scheduling, a death, a baby. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy that they have like
Everyone has
reasons.
a reason. Yeah, that is crazy.
So unfortunately those teams are not returning. So we get a huge reveal. If you saw episode 3, you kind of saw that they had brought back teams anyway. Arun and Natalia, who we had just said say la vie to in the previous episode, return.
I was so excited. I'm not gonna lie, I was like emotional. I was like, yay! And then
no, honestly, Michael and Mo, I was like, okay, I mean, sure.
Okay, see, I was like, okay, and then once it got going, who's the shorter one?
I think that's Mo.
I wanted to say that too, but I don't know. But I just loved his personality, like his energy when they showed him on this episode, that I was just so sad. I was sad when they left, but I would have been sad if it was Arun and Natalia too. So it was like a lose-lose for me when it came down to those two, based on once this episode got going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Before,
I
didn't know them like that, but then on this episode, I really liked if the shorter one is Mo or Michael, whoever.
The shorter one's Mo.
I really liked him, and I was just like, damn, like that just hurts to be like first out again, like.
That's why I kind of wanted. I don't know. I had this feeling that they were going to bring back someone and they were going to be eliminated, but I don't know. It's just kind of sad when you bring back someone who was just eliminated. You get to learn more about them, and then they get eliminated again.
No more. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's go through the events of the episode. It was a good episode. I loved the setting in Switzerland.
Yeah, it was, where they were was pretty. I liked it.
I will say that this started the precedent of them wearing masks during the race. Not obviously during the whole thing, but when they were in certain small spaces, they had masks on. Just something to notice, that it'll probably be something, in a few years that will be like, oh, wow, they're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So we get some updates of the teams that did return. Natalia ended up getting married, as I believe we saw. She was engaged.
Yeah, the wedding.
And then Lulu and Lala ended up having their grandma die from COVID, which was very, very sad.
I was fucking crying.
Yeah, they got like 5 minutes into the episode, I was like, unfortunately, I was like, someone unfortunately probably had to deal with, something like that.
Yeah.
Just because statistically, and I'm like, it was sad. And then Raquel and Kayla, the flight attendants, both ended up getting, laid off from their jobs, because I mean, they work in a business that was postponed for months. So it was just kind of like a shock to hear, just like, some great things, some, terrible things, just kind of different life instances. But it ended up kind of making everyone like excited to restart the race. Obviously, it had been over a year.
Such a long time to like pause something,
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised that they got as many teams as they did to come back.
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine they probably signed something of like, oh, when it's safe to return, and they probably didn't think that was going to be a year and a half.
No, they probably thought it was going to be like 6 months. I think a lot of us at first for a while
thought it wasn't going to be
nearly as long as it continues to be.
Yeah. So
science for you.
Let's go through the events of this episode, which again, I love this episode.
Oh, let's talk about it, because I really liked this episode.
They start off doing, a little run to this gondola at the bottom of this mountain. They have to take the gondola up the mountain. I believe it was like 8,000 feet.
Yeah, and it's like a good like 15-20 minute ride or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, and the gondolas were huge. All of the teams fit in there.
Yeah, I would have been like shitting my pants, but that's okay. I could do what when they get up there, but being suspended like that is what I don't like. If I can touch the ground, even if it's close to the edge, I feel fine because I'm in control. When I'm I'm not in control. I would have been more scared of the damn gondola.
Well, I just saw a video that apparently a gondola, I don't know where, one of the wires had snapped.
Don't fucking talk. No.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I don't think that they were injured. It was just like, because I think they have fail-safe wires. They probably have like
extra ones
just because. But anyway, I know it. When I saw that, I was like freaking out. So in the first roadblock, who wants to take in the view? We already get a little bit of drama. You basically have to follow along this path along the mountain, get to the clue box, and then go all the way back up. It's a very, uneven terrain to navigate, and it's dealing with heights. You're all along the edge of a really tall edge.
Really cool though, because once you get to like, I guess halfway, like where you need to go before you have to turn around and go back, you can see 6 countries from there.
Yes. Okay. I was
amazing.
Let me bring up the 6 countries just for reference.
Too. Like I was like, that's so beautiful.
The 6 countries being Liechtenstein, Italy, France, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria.
Yeah.
I believe that's 6.
That's insane. That is
I know beautiful. When he said that, I was like, because we have the thing, it's like the 4 corners thing where like you're in Nevada, Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico.
I don't I know, but like I didn't know that existed. So that's really cool.
Hang on, I wanted to fact check myself because I think it's Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Nevada.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So something like that was really cool, being, in the super, mountainous region of Switzerland. They got to have like a fun little moment to take it all in.
Couldn't even really like take it.
The people watching, because obviously with roadblocks, only one person does it. So like they were just like chilling up on the top of a mountain watching everyone else. Or honestly, was it Dusty that was the one that was? Oh no, Ryan. Ryan was just booking it the whole way.
Yeah, Penn too, though.
Penn too, because he ended up passing some people, but
they were both like, "Go, go, go!" Which I mean, as you should, but yeah, it was just they were both like killing it.
They are my 2 favorite teams at the moment, Ryan and Dusty, and Kim and Penn.
Penn, I fucking love them.
Yeah, because they remind me, like we've said before, of like a Hung and Chi, like married parents, of just like they haven't gotten into any arguments. They're kind of goofy with each other, like
they just like work so well together. You're just like, yes, this is why you got married. Like that's a good union. Like I love the way you work together through life.
Yeah.
And they're like so cute. So I'm just like, oh, 2 good-looking older people with their kids. I love it. I don't know. I like
and they've been pretty close to the top. I mean, they finished first in the last episode. They finished second this episode. On the flip side of that, we have Akbar and Sherry. So here we go. First off, love what they do outside of the game.
They don't fight like this at home while they do it.
They are in charge of, a very infamously like bad rep school, but they were doing a lot of changes. They got the big donations from Oprah. They were doing like the after hours thing. All that's great. However, their dynamic
bad.
I'm not a fan of
It
because
makes me uncomfortable.
it's very I don't know if I've ever seen a team like this other than Caro and Ray, very slightly.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I'm like, the last time that you were on this.
That's why you guys aren't together anymore.
Yeah, like she ended up crying and he was like, you're doing too much. And it was just weird.
I was like, y'all are on camera, at least fake the funk. Like that's how you know it has to be bad behind closed doors, because in front of other people and in particular in front of cameras, people try to show their best. So if this is you trying to be like looking good about it, like I can't imagine what the fuck it would look like when nobody's there to see. A fly on the wall in those rooms, no.
Yeah, so she ends up volunteering. Well, first we get like a tease when they go on the gondola that she's afraid of heights, which comes in later because she volunteers to do the first roadblock. And for some reason, Akbar is like, oh, okay with it, even though he knows that she's afraid of heights.
Yeah.
So she ends up like scooching along. This isn't to blame her. It's just like you put someone who's afraid of heights in that situation. What do you expect?
And she was so proud of herself for finally finishing when she does finish, even though she's like dead last. And he's still shitting on her. And it's like, in her mind, she's like, I can't believe I survived. And I'm glad you conquered a fear, but maybe not when we're racing, you know?
Yeah. Ryan ends up getting there first, again, with the clue. And they have to drive, or do they take a tram? They missed the tram, that's right. Which is a 10-minute, delay. Real quick side note. I was watching Cody Nixon's Instagram Q&A, and he talked about how singing portions of The Amazing Race are purely subjective, which is I talked about this in the last episode. How do you decipher what is like a pass and fail with the singing? It has to be like you sing the correct melody, the lyrics. Like he said that on his season, they purposely kept the two teams like to fail so that they would sprint and like one of them would finish first. It's not like a puzzle where you can't be subjective. Like if the puzzle's right, the puzzle's right.
That is true, but that's part of like the uniqueness in a way of this type of competition, right? Because we have things in there, but it is a little like
That's like I really don't mind the way that Amazing Race is run. It was just like something that I thought of because there was a singing part in the last episode. And I'm like, I wonder why they were feeling so often. But then like the last time they did it, I'm like, it doesn't seem any different. And yet they passed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the cars are all automatic.
People are mad about like, I practiced stick shift for this, but like, you guys, it's okay. I don't want to see.
They probably just were like, we can't deal with more drama about the manual cars.
Yeah, no, just do it.
They probably, all the camera people are probably getting sick in the car. Like, dude, slow down. They get to the detour, which is either punch it or toss it. Punch it being they have to attach ornaments to a Swiss belt in the correct order, or toss it. Yeah, it tells a Swiss story, and then toss it, which is performing a traditional flag routine.
Which is what is it in high school? What do they call it?
Color guard.
So it's a similar idea. It's a big flag, but it's their thing.
Yeah. So Kim and Penn and Ryan and Dusty do toss it, the flag routine. The twins, Raquel and Kayla, Natalia and Arun, and Michael and Mo do the belts. Kim and Penn do their first performance, and Penn ends up stepping on the flag.
Yeah. Next round that they tried again, Kim's arms were sore by that point, so she was having a hard time holding up the flag because it's heavy. So then they had to take a moment, breathe, and just like get through it. But before that, Ryan and Dusty were considering switching because it was hard for them, and then they're like, "Let's just try."
And they nail it the first time.
and Penn. They nailed it the first time. So yeah, they were fucking killing it.
I really like Ryan and Dusty. Like
I do.
they give me Riley and Madison
I was
combined with Will and James vibes, you know, minus the gay aspect. But like they're just friends. But like I don't know, like they're just so like happy all the time and like they're just like kill it. Like it's so easy for them.
Yeah, it's just kind of fun to watch. Yeah.
The belt task doesn't go great. Except for Natalia and Arun end up getting it their first try, which I'm sure they were like.
I think because it was just something that took a while to do, but they did it right the first time, and so they were good. Mike and Mo were watching them do it, and we're like, they're doing it in the opposite direction of us. Before they got checked, they're like, if they get checked and they're right, we're definitely wrong.
Which is what ended up happening. They did it in the reverse order.
Yeah.
Akbar and Sherry end up
doing the flag.
Doing the flags.
And they weren't fighting as much. I mean, he was like, just put it under your leg. I was like, this. But
I think it's the coach in him and like the fact that she was a former athlete. It creates like a weird like dynamic for.
But it's also like there's no like. There's different.
It's not encouraging. It just feels very demoralizing.
Yeah, exactly. And for some people that helps. It doesn't seem to be helping her.
No, it just seems like
stupid.
Bad situation.
Like, him in the throat. I swear. I'm like, shut up. You're rude.
After they pass, Natalia and Arun end up getting lost. I feel like that's going to be their biggest downfall because I don't think they're. Despite the Donald, where's your trousers instance, they really don't do bad in competitions. They do really good. It's just like the navigating part. Because had they not taken the wrong exit, I don't think that they would have been the last episode.
No, I don't think so either.
The pit stop, Ryan and Dusty end up hitting it first. They get $2,500.
Yeah, us sound like a stimulus check.
I will say Kim and Penn got a way better first place prize. It was like a five-day trip or whatever to
No, I don't know. Cash is never bad, but it is cash. 5 nights
at Cape Cod.
I don't know. Never been, bitch. No. Never even been one night. And they were also like, "Oh, we love it there." I'm like, "So that's cool, but like you've already been, so it's not as exciting."
They're like, "Oh yeah, our favorite place, Cape Cod."
I just would prefer the money, but it's fine. Whatever. Agree to disagree, Scotty.
Where even is Cape Cod? It's in the U.S. It's like
isn't it like
East Coast
or Maine or somewhere? Yeah, on the East Coast.
Kim and Penn end up coming in second.
Don't they? Isn't it like a whatever? Yes.
Raquel and Kayla come in third. Lulu and Lala come in fourth. Akbar and Sherry in fifth. Thankfully, Arun and Natalia in sixth. I know.
I'm glad, but I was sad about Michael and Mo just because I really started to like Mo, but then I was also like,
if we were going to lose a team, I'd lose either them or Akbar and Sherry.
Yeah. But then I feel bad for Sherry. So it's like, no.
That's how I felt about Caro and Ray. I'm like, I just kind of don't like one half of this team.
Yeah. So
anyway.
That was this episode. It was really good. I cried. I was emotional.
Okay. So that was this episode of The Amazing Race, episode 4. We will be back later this week for episode 5, and next week for Celebrity Big Brother. We still do not know the cast, but we have been hearing some rumors. Very excited to see the final cast list, and
we find out early, we'll talk about it. We'll let you guys know. So you're gonna need to like, comment, share, subscribe to find out.